Hey, Zach, you ready to talk about all the presentations that happened this week? All the new games?
Of course I am.
I don't know why you're so excited. There's nothing really in there that would be relevant to you. So,
There was
we can
like
take a look.
six
We can take a
farming
look.
games in the Nintendo Direct.
Huh. That's what those were? Huh. Interesting. It was very subtle, I would say.
All right, all jokes aside, we're going to talk about the actual important stuff now.
Various Daylife, right?
Actually, I was just going to talk about how obsessed Miyamoto was with Pikmin, whatever that mobile Pikmin game was, because that was really what I wanted to talk about.
This is gonna stress me out if we don't talk about Various Daylife.
I'm sorry. We'll have its time. We'll have its time. We'll get there.
Right. Okay. Okay. Fair enough.
Another entry into the Square excellent game name genre.
Right. the what Times New Roman double underline.
Yeah, they
know,
keep outdoing
they're the
themselves.
best.
They can't keep getting away with this.
Yeah, they can't. I mean, that one strikes me as just so funny because of how normal it sounds. Like it just
doesn't
literally
even
sounds
really
like
make sense. It doesn't even really
no,
make sense.
no,
Like
especially like compared to
Octopath
whatever kind of game
Traveler,
it
like
is.
Octopath is it's a thing.
Yeah, yeah,
Then Triangle Strategy, various Daylife.
yeah.
Doesn't
It
make
sounds so not specific.
yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Which I get that that's like in the name, but why?
Yeah.
Why?
All right, so
Good times.
what we're actually going to do is talk about our favorite actual games from
Right.
each of the presentations. We had a Nintendo Direct and a PlayStation State of Play. For some reason, the same day within hours of each other.
Right.
I didn't even know about the State of Play until I was coming home the day before. I thought it was a joke, but
Yeah,
it showed
right.
up.
Yeah.
So I think we're both going to talk about two games, our favorite two games from each thing, and we picked unique games. So there's 8 total games.
Right. I think if we weren't unique about it, there would be some
We just talked about God of War and Zelda.
some duplicate. Exactly.
Yeah,
so but there are a few other things I would say that I am excited for. Both of the presentations didn't do a whole lot for me, but like there is stuff to talk about.
Their
So
powers combined.
yes, it makes them mighty.
Yes. All right, so the first game I want to talk about was actually the first game of the first presentation, which was Fire Emblem Engage.
It did start off strong.
It did start off
I will
strong.
say, like it, which kind of set us up for disappointment, but it's
They
okay.
led with the right way for me. I was getting excited.
Yeah.
I knew the second they showed like the little artwork and they're like, "We live in the kingdom of Elios." It's like they're running out of like goofy like continent names.
Right.
Like,
Goofy continent names, apparently goofy like just premises
isn't
for the story.
isn't
but
Xenoblade like Ionios and this one's just
Aeonios,
then it's like it's just they're just making stuff up that sounds so similar at this point. I can't even tell anymore.
it has to have the bare minimum like four vowels in the name, and they probably have to be all the same
in a row.
So in a row.
Yeah.
So and then you throw an S and
Yeah.
something else, and then okay, there's your region right
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
So first things first, I think Engage is a weird name. Like, and also I think the font was a little silly when they put like Times New Roman like weird like font underneath the Fire Emblem font.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Right, you've got like that real like fantasy looking like font that's like classic for Fire Emblem, right? It's been around for a while. That how it's written, and then just like very like bold all caps like mobile-esque looking font.
The
below
Jim
it.
typed up the font real quick.
Yeah,
Just like that.
yeah. You didn't apply the font to it, Jim. Come on.
So
Yeah.
all things aside, I can get over the name and the goofy thing.
Oh yeah. I care about the gameplay.
The
You know,
gimmick
that's
the
what we're
gimmick
here
of this game is you can pull in heroes from previous games,
Yeah.
which that could be cool, has potential to be cool. I just hope that the story and the characters of the new game can stand alone. Like if there wasn't
Right.
the other characters, if it would still
Right.
be meaningful
Right.
character development
for.
and
No,
stuff
it's
like
just
that.
it's Fire Emblem Ultimate, basically.
It really is. Yeah, they're
what
like
it is.
yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Um, and like these characters aren't like joining you like as characters. They almost seem like skills. They give like stat buffs
Yeah.
and like different attacks
Right.
from what it looks like.
Well, I guess this is probably just recency bias here, but like playing Xenoblade so recently, it's almost like you're equipping like a hero class. Is how
Almost like a class, yeah.
like I thought of it. I don't know how it'll actually end up, but that's what it was in Xenoblade. You you have a hero that you then kind of take on the kind of abilities for. So in this case, it seems like they'll be fighting with you, but I'm sure it'll affect your stats and stuff like that. So I think it's cool.
And I trust that they'll do it justice. One small concern is that like say only like the main characters, quote unquote, can equip these heroes. I don't want them to be like broken and then everyone else is not worth using.
Right.
But yeah,
they showed Marth a lot.
They showed Marth a lot, he's like the first one, so you'll probably start. He's with
on the cover of the game as well.
I think the cover art looks cool. It's showing up on the screen right now. You can't see it. It's up on the screen right now.
Yeah. What's funny to me about artwork like that, which it looks good and like not just video game artwork, but like movie posters. I don't know what it started with. Probably like Marvel movies, where it's like big face, smaller face,
big head in the background, other big head in the background,
big villain head in the background,
mysterious man who might do something else.
Right. Yeah. It's like it's effective. It like, and then there's like usually some kind of landscape behind it. Like it works. It's just funny how it's like you can see the similarities across like a lot of different things for that kind of like advertising promotional stuff. But yeah, so it looks cool.
Yeah, and it looks like the heroes will get some unique opportunities. Like you can see a couple of them. It gives some of their special attacks have like movement involved. You'll move to a different square after the attack.
Oh yeah.
Which gives some creative opportunities. Overall, I'm not worried about the gameplay. I think the gameplay will be fun, and Intelligent Systems will get that part down. The visuals are growing on me. They're like the first watch, I was like, okay, this looks not great. But I was watching my phone. I wasn't looking too close. I've watched it a few more times. It's definitely very bold with the colors. It's very bright and colorful.
From the jump, because of the protagonist's red and blue hair, it's not just like kind of soft blue
looking
and like
magenta. Over here.
Like it's like red and blue, like in your face. Yeah. So
the joke is the Colgate toothpaste avatar.
That's what it looks like.
But yeah, it looks really brightly colorful. The maps have they're not like the dull earthy. Look, they're very bright and colorful.
It's like Splatoon cross Fire Emblem.
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking. That's funny.
The in-battle stuff we did see the animations look more, like for lack of a better word, look more animated rather than just like swing your sword. It's more like
like Three Houses. It's kind of got that same animations that they did.
There's some cool special effects, and I think the game looks good, and it'll look better as the time goes.
I'm betting, there's going to be things that someone like a true like a really diehard Fire Emblem fan like you is going to be able to pick apart. I think at the end of the day, it'll probably be a good game. It'll probably be pretty fun. I mean, they know what they're doing at this point, so.
Yeah, and they went for like a really, I guess, a more cartoony look with the characters. They like really big eyes. Went like extra anime, and the anime cutscenes do look good that they showed. I did think those looked really good. If there's more of that in the game, I'm excited. But yeah, my only real concern is that if the whole story revolves around the heroes coming in and like that's the big emphasis, and then the actual main story is a little samey, kill the evil pink and purple flame bad guy dragon man, that's done 1,000 times. And previous Fire Emblem games have done good to get away from that. Like they have more serious personal stories, and some of them, not all of them. This one does seem like, oh, you're the divine dragon after 1,000 years to go kill the fell dragons. Okay, we've done this before.
After Three Houses, I mean, I've never played another Fire Emblem besides Three Houses, but I thought the story was very effective in that game, and it was very compelling to me. Like the history of Fodlan, the region of that game, and just the different forces at play, which you can always kind of relate it back to that similar like threat of big evil thing caused big bad thing long time ago, and then that sets up the whole thing. But still, like they twisted that in Three Houses in a way that was effective to me. So honestly, I'm always fine for just your generic like fantasy story, especially for a series I don't have much experience with. So, but see them break the mold a bit would be good.
Might be a controversial take. I want one route. I want to go this direction.
Oh yeah,
and I want them to focus on making the maps objectives more diversified. The last few Fire Emblems, I know you've only played Three Houses. The last few, it's gotten really, they back themselves in a corner, just like kill all the enemies or kill the boss. There used to be like unique objectives on maps, like and have like bonus objectives. They've really gotten in a bad habit. I hope that they just focus on one path and they make some unique maps and new challenges. But yeah. My last thought is one cool possibility. The bad guy also puts on a ring in the trailer, so maybe we'll see more. See bad guys from the past also.
Sure. That would be cool. Yeah.
So
that would be pretty cool.
Yeah. That's my thoughts on Fire Emblem Engage? Anything else stick out to you?
No, yeah, I think we covered it pretty well. I think it'll be cool. I'll pick it up because with 3 houses, they won me over for the future after that. So,
coming January 20th, 2023.
Yep. Just missed this year. Huh? It's too bad.
Just missed this year. Okay. All right. Why don't you tell us what the next game on the list is?
Well, very similar. Okay, to Fire Emblem. It's interesting. Lots of similar style games. You had the farming games and the JRPGs, and this is one of them. SpongeBob SquarePants: The Cosmic Shake. So, you guys probably weren't expecting this, but no, honestly, like I mentioned before, this Direct didn't have that much. There's 2 other games that one you have and one I have that I think kind of summarized that along with Fire Emblem that were really the big hitters for me.
Mm-hmm.
I thought SpongeBob was funny though, just because you don't see licensed 3D platformers like this very often anymore.
Yeah, they were a big thing like the PS2 and GameCube and stuff.
Right, like movie tie-in games and stuff like that. This seems to be like a standalone thing. But recently, whenever that was a couple years ago, they did the Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated, which I still have not played. But it's weird. I get nostalgic sometimes for like these 3D platforms, but then I never actually go play them.
Yeah, of course.
I do want to play that other one, the older SpongeBob one. But this one I just thought was a funny one to mention because, again, it's just kind of I'll use the word, it harkens back to an older, to days of yore of the 3D platformers. I'm sure it'll be dumb fun.
I kind of want to play this. I've watched the trailer now 3 times. In this since you started talking, it's a pretty short trailer.
Yeah, it's like 30 seconds.
I'm enjoying it. I like that there's a lot of throwback costumes. Like it has his Band Geeks outfit on. Oh, of course, Patrick right there.
Patrick with the board.
Maybe that'll be a costume for Patrick.
I hope so, because that was their thing. I was gonna say is there's a bunch of costumes to put on them, and I assume that like it affects what abilities you have or whatever. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. It was hard to tell if like you're only controlling SpongeBob. Maybe I don't remember correctly.
Yeah, Patrick almost seems like your Navi. Like he's just
yeah. He was like small for some reason. Like, what happened to him?
The Cosmic Shake.
Poor Patrick. Yeah, the Cosmos did shake him.
Yes.
It seems like. But yeah, it looks fun. I'll say right now, I don't remember when it said it was coming out. I should have taken better notes, but I could say right now that I'll get it when it comes out, but that really depends on what else is going on.
Yeah.
But it would be fun to play.
This isn't priority 1 for you over like something else?
Not exactly. No. So, like I said, it was kind of slim pickings outside of the games you chose to talk about in this segment, and then the one other one I chose. Yeah. It was a little bit slim. So I thought but not to not to discredit this game. I think it could.
It looks fun. It looks. I'll play it. And you get to ride on Mystery. Wisna.
So,
Mystery makes it. Oh, there's Mystery right there. So
Nice.
Cool. All right. And what's the next game on the list?
Yeah. So I guess in an effort to save the best for last. Nobody knows what that is who watched the Direct, but definitely this is one I'm excited for, is Octopath Traveler 2. So
real quick, I know you can't see this, but like the title came up as you said Octopath Traveler 2 for the first time. So.
Perfect. It's like I was made for this. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely excited for this. This was absolutely one of my favorite games of, I guess, was it 2018? I think, because I remember it being last semester of college.
Yeah, it was definitely early Switch. So
yeah, I think it was 2018. One of my favorite games of that year for sure. One of the best turn-based like RPGs I've probably ever played.
Yep.
And then is it Team Asano? Is that who does all these HG2? Man, they're just back at it again. Cranking them out. I mean, we just had Live Alive. So yeah, Live Alive earlier this year, which I don't know if we've talked about on a video, but very unique RPG. But now they're kind of going to bring it back to roots a little bit with like more traditional turn-based. I am very much looking forward to this. It looks pretty standard, at least with what they told us compared to the first game. So I've got some notes. Obviously, the Octo in Octopath. So you got 8 travelers. They're all new, and I did confirm that the region that they are in, it seems to be a completely new region. It's called Solistia, I think is how they pronounced it. It's not spelled the way you think, or maybe it is based on how I just kind of enunciated it. But it's that's the new region. They make a big point to be like a new era in a bustling blah 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 whatever.
Don't expect to see other characters in here.
Yeah. So I don't know if there's going to be any direct connection to the first game, but I don't necessarily need there to be. It's fine. I think that for those who played that game, there's room for them to tell more about that world, but I think that also if it just kind of they put a bow on it and they move to a different region with a new story and a set of deities in this world, that's kind of what influenced the first game. I think that would be okay.
Yeah.
So they talked about how so each of the characters has path actions. So I guess ways that the various characters can interact with the world and NPCs and things like that to like progress the story or solve puzzles or something. So there's like a day-night cycle, and depending on what time of day it is, it changes what the character's path action is. So one I took down was it's like the warrior character that looks like a samurai or something. He can challenge characters.
The warrior Hikari, he just right here.
Okay, I'm just planning this all out. Yeah. I actually can see it.
Oh, okay. I'm over your shoulder right now.
Yeah. So he's got the ability to challenge during the daytime. So I guess challenge people to a duel or something, and then at night he can bribe people. So I don't think it talked about specifically anyone else's like abilities there, but that seems kind of cool. Especially with you add the day-night cycle, then especially if it influences how the world operates and things, it kind of opens up the game a little bit more. So
I wonder if that'll be a forced thing, like to progress, you have to do the nighttime thing, or you have to do the daytime thing, or if it's like a pick your poison kind of thing.
Right. I wonder how optional that stuff will be. That is interesting. Yep. But so some of the classes, which I can't name them off the top of my head, but a few that stuck out to me because they were very similar. You've got like a thief class, a cleric, a merchant, a warrior. There was probably like an apothecary.
And I think it's the same 8 classes.
Yeah, so maybe the same main ones. I'm just going to assume that like the job system with like taking on different roles for your class is going to come back. Yep. And then I know for a fact that the breaking and boost system.
My favorite part of the game is the system. So good.
Yeah, so each enemies have different resistances, and they have like a number value that represents their defense. And if you hit them with what they are weak to, it breaks that down until like you break them. Yeah. And then if you've saved up your boost points, you can like really pump up the power on your attacks, which is obviously very satisfying, especially when like the last hit is this just like mega swing and they just disappear. So I expect that to come back. And also one thing I noted that I thought was pretty cool. It looks like there's different forms of like traveling on the overworld, like specifically.
There's 8 of them.
Is there really 8? Is that how? Okay, that'd be funny. I didn't realize the pun I just accidentally made. But traveling, like traversing
there's like
the
a
overworld.
There's like a boat at one point.
Yeah, I saw them in like rowboats. Like it's funny, it was like one to each boat,
of course,
and like they were all in a line. But then I saw like if you obviously you played Dragon Quest XI, but where you're in like the actual big boat with sails and everything, it like takes a farther shot with the camera. It looked like it had something like that too. So if you're traversing between ports on cities and stuff, that's pretty cool.
And you can go through the like in the old game, you couldn't go like if there's a big ocean in the middle. Now you can just go through to directly.
Oh yeah. And there wasn't like map. Was there not fast travel in the game? I can't remember. Did you just run everywhere?
I think there was fast travel. Only to like the main towns, though. Yeah.
Well, obviously now this opens up like now there's islands, scattered throughout or whatever. Yep. So
I think they did clarify the stories will more like in Octopath Traveler 1. It was like there was like 8 independent stories basically.
And then they kind of shoehorned them together. Like you knew thematically why certain things were connected because they're all in the same world. Like I said, there's like these deities that kind of influence the world, and they're all connected in different ways to the different characters. But they kind of, if you really had to like go out of your way to get like the real like blending of the stories together. But yeah, so if they're making more of a pointed effort to integrate the stories, then that's good. I mean, because otherwise, like you ask the question like, why are these people traveling together? Why are they traveling in?
Hello, stranger. Oh yes, I'm also heading this way for some reason.
Yeah. So, I'm really looking forward to this. Like I said, it was one of my favorite games. I've not gone back to it since first playing it. I mean, big RPGs like that really takes a
it's hard to get back in one of those games.
But I would, because if I think about like, oh man, I'd like to play a new turn-based game. The formula that Octopath had is like. Ideal. It's traditional. Yeah, it's ideal. It's traditional in a lot of ways because it's literally turn-based, but then it's got like, I've probably mentioned this in different videos about other things, but I love the move order across the top of the screen.
Yep.
I just really like that because it lets you plan ahead and just like, understand, like it really puts in front of your face why speed is like an important stat. So, because it's like, this is to influence the turn order and stuff. Yep. So I like that. But yeah, so I'm really looking forward to this one for sure. February, right?
Comes out a month after Fire Emblem.
Yeah, that's going to be big. I mean, the JRPGs just don't
heavy starts.
They don't sleep, man. Yeah, and think about it, because we're semi-ending the year with Pokemon. I mean, it'll take me to the end of the year most likely,
Yep.
And then we'll start it off with Fire Emblem, Octopath, and then whatever. So,
Yep.
Yeah, big JRPG games coming up.
Good stuff. All right, and the last game that's almost here just by default, out of respect for the Queen, Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
Tears of the Kingdom, and I'm pretty sure, based on what I saw, it is not Tears of the Kingdom.
I think they did
Tears.
They did clarify that.
Yeah. Well, I think that like people went and looked at like the Japanese name, and like people understand like the nuances of a language can, I guess, gather that.
I was kind of hoping it was going to be like a dual meaning kind of thing. Like
it could be. It could be. Maybe because like obviously like things are getting like, if we just jump into the discussion about this, like things are getting kind of broken apart in the kingdom, which we probably saw in other trailers too for that game. But the kingdom is quite literally getting torn apart. So
yeah, and I was happy to see this. Obviously, I was hoping we get more. I mean, they keep showing like minute-long teases into it, and they're showing some cool stuff for sure. I'm really.
It's all just scattered, though.
It's all just scattered, yeah.
And even remember how we have speculated in the past about why they weren't showing the name, with what trailer they accompanied with the name. I didn't like get anything new really. The name didn't like. It doesn't even spoil anything.
That's what it's
right.
about.
Exactly.
It is.
It like it just if they had told us that 6 months ago, like I would have been like, okay, that makes sense. We know bad things are going to happen in this game, and Link's going to have to solve them.
Kingdom.
So, two said kingdom. So, like, Tears of the Kingdom. I mean, it's a little bit like sad. Obviously, it's in the name, but like
blank title, just like Breath of the Wild.
Right. Yeah. There's lots that can It wasn't just like Ganon kills Zelda. It wasn't
Legend of Zelda, Ganon kills Zelda.
Yeah, I know that flows right off the tongue, but you get what I mean. It doesn't like just directly spoil anything. And Knuckles. It doesn't directly.
I'm still waiting for that big blowout story trailer that we'll probably see next year. I can't get upset. This game will be here when it gets here, and they'll show us when they want to show us when they want to show us. I'm excited about the prospect of a Sky Zelda. For sure. Skyward Sword was a Sky Zelda, but you spend a lot of time not in the sky. And they keep showing Link falling with style and jumping off of things. I want to see flying upwards. They showed a little bit here.
He did land on like the glider.
Yeah, he lands on like a paper airplane basically. Are those things just flying around? You land on maybe
I have no idea what they are.
Some in them,
it's hard to tell. Are they just like kind of flying in a pattern, or is he controlling it? It's hard to tell.
I want loft wings. I'm just gonna say I want loft wings. I don't. I'm like this is just speculation on my part. I'm just worried that like they want to do loft wings too, but like the Switch can't handle like you just flying around the map.
Yeah, right. And it can handle it well enough, I guess, in Skyward Sword. But this is like seamless. It looks like between ground and sky.
I'm wondering if it is seamless or if it's like going to be like if it's got like a little mini cutscene, like you fall.
It's gonna really take me out of it. Maybe if it's a cutscene, but like if it like kind of cuts to black and has like the spinning bar or spinning circle.
Yeah, so that's what I hope it doesn't do that. If it's just like a little like falling cutscene and it like tricks you, like it like turns the camera, then like. You're there.
Like the cutscene is really a loading screen, and then it transitions into gameplay.
I don't want to see a black bar from jumping from one.
That's gonna take me out of it. Yeah. So unless it's like really that, because like I remember watching the trailer, he's really high off the ground. Like he's way up there. So like maybe they are two distinct areas, but Hyrule was all connected, seamless in Breath of the Wild. So it'd be interesting if they kind of ventured away from that. But yeah, it's about what the Switch can handle. If this now, we're talking PS5. You saw what could happen in Ratchet and Clank, so it'd be no problem. Yeah. But we're not talking PS5 here. So
yeah, we're talking a cell phone in your pocket, basically.
Right, basically, yeah. I mean, I wonder what this, if anything at all, if it like, points at new hardware coming. I feel like it's. It's before the first half of the year ends next year.
I don't think
if it hits the day.
The game is going to be on the base Switch, obviously.
Oh, well, yeah, but I'm wondering if, like, anything will accompany it. But I have a feeling no.
No, but you know what? This game will probably be on the next Switch as Breath of the Wild Tears of the Kingdom Deluxe combo pack, whatever. But
and I'll probably buy it, but, whatever.
But yeah, I mean, there's lots that I want to see. I want to see dungeons, and there is a scene where he, like, pushes open the big doors, and maybe he's leaving a dungeon there. Maybe not. Maybe it's just a whatever.
Yep.
I want to see dungeons. I want to see some good movement options in the air. Because if you're just you've got to have a way to go up. If you're just jumping down the whole time, it's not really fun. Like
I've seen some videos, maybe you've watched it too, but like there's a breakdown video that IGN did, and it's such a you really have to scrutinize these videos because they're so short.
Yeah.
But there's one thing on the ground that looks like this little green tornado thing.
Mm-hmm.
It looks similar to what was happening on presumably Ganon's body in like the first trailer, like the swirling thing coming off of it.
Yeah.
And I guess the speculation is based on how we've seen him like Link, that is, like go up through like the rocks, like and like kind of morph through them and stuff. Like maybe those are like ejection things that he can like get shot up out of.
See, I wouldn't mind if you couldn't fly, as long as there's lots of ways. Like if that is a thing to just launch me in the air and I can glide around or then fall.
Yeah, I don't need a loft.
I hope you can come out of glider and then to like free fall and then back into glider.
Yeah. Like Fortnite.
You know, I'll put my trust in them. They'll figure it out. They're going to do a good job.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking this one, they have shown more things that are like unusual or slightly new, like different from Breath of the Wild. They've shown like base level Hyrule where you run around like with bokoblins and stuff, but they've really focused on this sky area, and things have affected the terrain in the kingdom. So like it'd be interesting to see like just how different this game
ends
up
really
feeling
wet on
and
the
being
ground
like
from all the tears.
Right, yeah. You gotta don't slip.
Don't slip.
There's all these caution signs, like wet floor signs. Yeah. It's rough, but yeah, just how different this one's gonna feel compared to the first one is gonna be interesting, and how different do I really want it to feel is another question. Like, because it's not like they need to completely break the mold again, but give me a reason to get invested in this world again. So it looks cool. I mean, but we keep getting these 1 minute. Little bits. So, yeah.
Next May, I'll be there. Day one.
Yeah, for sure. Probably taking lots of time off work for that one.
Yes, of course. All right, so that's the last of the Nintendo games. Now over to the State of Play games. I think yours is first.
Yeah, so this was a bit more limited of a presentation, probably half or a little bit less than half of the length of the Nintendo one. They had 10 games that they showed. Again, somewhat slim pickings, although there was some cool stuff. One of which being a game called Stellar Blade, which was previously titled Project Eve. So I think what I read about this game is that it's like a post-apocalyptic, like way post-apocalyptic or something like that, like action JRPG, like very fast, like frenetic is one word I wrote down. I'm all about the big vocabulary today.
Of course.
Very fast, frenetic combat. It looks like a mesh of several things. Like you have, it looks like some. Like Devil May Cry or Bayonetta, like hack and slash influences, and then I even saw some things that you can always, with these games that have possibly challenging combat and boss battles, you can point to Souls games, be like, oh, there's some influence there, which it's kind of easy to say that, but I saw like blade deflections and stuff, which looked cool, and even like some like third person shooting, which looked interesting. It goes like over the shoulder and she like starts shooting.
Jumps back.
I thought it looked pretty cool. So the game looks very nice. It looks like very next gen. I think you mentioned like off camera about how it looks very like just shiny and like wet
shiny,
everywhere, which it's easy to make things look it looks really nice. Like they just put like a shine filter. Yeah, look at all the reflections. But yeah, like particle effects and colorful and. It looks interesting. I think I'll definitely pick it up. I think I'm pretty sure all the games they showed, if not most of them, were console exclusive. So, I mean, looks like a true next gen experience. And the monster design and boss design, it's interesting. Like the contrast between like you've got the protagonist and like the world. It looks like very futuristic and also run down at the same time, but like very high tech.
Yeah.
But then the things you're fighting are like these disgusting looking monsters, and then really like you have to have something a little bit wrong with you to come up with some of these designs that
those are the best games.
Yeah, so like one that has like it looks like a Venus flytrap with a mouth, like it just all the way up its body. It just looks terrifying. Actually, that one sticks. Old zipper mouth, right? Can't forget that guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks fun. Any comments from you on that one?
Yeah, I mean,
interest.
Like I said, it looks cool. It's coming out next year. If it's a fun action game, I'll play it. It does look very shiny, like almost like the emphasis is like lighting, which is
like look how shiny.
look how shiny it is.
They want people to write into them and say that was so shiny.
Yeah.
Like thank you. That's the validation I need.
The obvious how to say it, like overly designed protagonist, I guess is what I'll say.
Overly designed is a good phrase.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, I mean,
focus.
yeah, I'll play it. It looks fun.
Yeah.
I'm down for a good action game every now and then.
Right. Well, and then even some that go a step further with the combat, make it not so button mashy, like make it a little bit more deliberate.
Yeah,
deliberate
I was
thinking.
glad to see like that jump out to third person, like a third person shooter, a little attack.
It looks cool. Yeah.
If they could mix that up, that'd be cool. I'd be down for that.
Yeah, I think we're in store for lots of like really over the top cinematic sequences and stuff like that. Which a Devil May Cry and a Bayonetta, like those have those same kind of things. So that looks cool.
Yeah.
So.
Yep, and it's worth noting here in the trailer below me, the frame rate is a little bit better than this in the actual trailer. This is just my
well, you've got a screen captured stream of like a very visually impressive.
I just don't want to
misinterpret.
So people misinterpret the game.
Right, right. Of course not.
It was a smooth 60 when I watched it.
Right. Oh, for sure. Oh yeah.
Smooth 60.
Yeah.
All right. The next game, the showcase was Rise of the Ronin, which is a Team Ninja game. I have not played much Team Ninja games, if any. I know you're a big Neo guy.
Yep.
This is a new game they're making that it's taking place in 1800s Japan. Looks like you're fighting, the English or some interpretation of that, some sort of colony that is, presumably not supposed to be there.
Right.
I like what they've shown so far. There was a shot where the thing that got me really excited was the shot where you're like in a wingsuit, like a paraglider.
Oh yeah,
and you're coming down to this town, and that kind of gave me like Assassin's Creed vibes.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
But then there were some shots where like you're walking up a path and there's like an enemy blocking your path, and that gave me like I don't know, like Sekiro vibes or something like.
I also got like Ghost of Tsushima.
Vibes, yeah.
Because it's like that like lower third person over the shoulder camera where it's like it's got this perfect shot of like of the fight, and it's just really cool. I think they definitely drew inspiration from that. And like you said, Team Ninja, which has got both the Neo games under their belt, and those are really good. It's got that new Wolong Fallen Dynasty game, which I'm looking at my Xbox screen right now, which has a demo out. I'm going to be playing that. This game, you haven't mentioned it yet, 2024 with this game, Rise of the Ronin.
It's almost too far where I'm going to forget about it completely. I'm like, oh yeah.
100% going to forget about it. Right? Which, I mean, they'll show it again. It's going to be, I'm assuming that all these games were console exclusives, so they're going to push it.
Yeah.
So, like, it's just very strange that, like, I don't know who sits down and says like, okay, these are the games we're going to talk about. These are the release dates. Oh, 2 years from now, this is what people want to see.
Yeah, I know. I'm glad to see it, but like, you can't tell me there was something else this caliber that's coming out.
There was even if it's, caliber or whatever, just something else that is vaguely interesting that is coming out sooner makes more sense for you. Like, there is going to be a time and place, like E3 next year is when you should have shown that, because Team Ninja has other stuff going on, so like it's just very strange. But it looks really cool though. Like I saw again, it's got that like shot that Ghost of Tsushima does with the like kind of one-on-one duels, and there was a cool one where you did like a Scorpion from Mortal Kombat, except you flew to them, you like grapple on, like flew to. I thought that was pretty cool. So it looks like it has stuff going for it.
Looks like it's going to be a pretty game. If this is truly 2 years away and it looks like this already, I think it'll be pretty good.
Right, that's true. It's only going to get better. That's true. Yeah.
All right, the next game I want to talk about, I honestly just picked this one because it's a little different. Like you said, it's a little bit of slim pickings. We're talking about 4 of the 10 total games, and there's some VR games. So basically, there's not a whole lot else to pick from. But you know what? I think this game looked fun, kind of. Pacific Drive. You're just barreling down these creepy roads in your station wagon.
Right. Right.
I'm not really sure what you're doing, but it looks like you're just like, you're in this pimped out station wagon.
Yeah, it has like, it does not, like the exterior does not tell you what's on the inside. It's got all this like computer stuff going on in there.
I don't really know what
someone's like talking to you. Like,
I don't know what the game is per se. If it's like
it's probably a survival type game. Like
I heard some speculation. This sounds cool. If this is just, I don't know if they've said this, but if this is what the game is, it could be cool. People are saying like it's a roguelite and you're like equipping your car as you drive through these areas.
Oh man, that's kind of cool. That's a cool idea.
That'd be a cool idea.
And you have to start back from the beginning, but you keep like the car upgrades or something. Like
I don't know what the game is. You know what? I was just happy to see someone take a different idea on
Sure.
something. It's a
Yeah.
car survival game. It looks like.
Yeah. It's
just
like,
wanna-
are you the car or are you something
Yeah.
else? Because I didn't
So,
see
like,
any like human appendages. So,
yeah. So
like,
so that, so
what's going on here?
when you open the door, it's like a emptiness opening the door, like nothing getting
Yeah.
in it. But then you can see
Yeah.
in the background, like if you look to the back, there's like a head. So I think you
Yeah.
are a person.
That's funny because like I remember it showing like a flashing scene in that trailer where the car's like drifting by and I'm like, I don't see anybody in that car.
Yeah. So maybe you are maybe you are the car. That'd be way cooler.
You're like Tow Mater from Cars.
Yes, exactly.
Hell yeah.
You are station wagon.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Station wagon.
yeah. You know what? I'm easy to please with car games. Give me some ramps. Give me like
Sure.
give me like a flaming hoop to jump through.
Maybe like a nitro boost.
Exactly,
Like,
nitro. Maybe like a laser to shoot stuff. I'm down.
Oh, sold.
Yeah, that's
I
specific.
say that. I'm gonna forget about this game. Never
Oh,
talk about it again.
100%. But you know what? It was props to them for doing something unique.
Yeah, sure. No, good for them.
All right, last up, the most important game. You know, we've got various Daylife for
Oh,
the
yeah.
Nintendo Switch family of systems. I'm sorry.
I'm so psyched for this.
All right, so
For
what's
the
the
Nintendo Switch
last game?
system. No. It did get a PS5
Oh, there we
release.
go,
I
there we go.
saw that just the other day. It got Various Daylife is coming to PS5.
Well, good for it.
We're good. No. It is time for God of War Ragnarok, which, I mean, across the two presentations, even though I already knew about God of War Ragnarok and I already knew about Zelda, but like this one takes it for me because I'm just so pumped for it. I just recently replayed the first game, the 2018 game. I'm really stoked for this.
Yeah, this was a good trailer too. They went all out for this one.
Oh yeah, and they almost got us because the first they were like did the one more thing, and then they showed a trailer for the DualSense Limited Edition
almost
controller,
lost it.
which that in itself is cool. But then they cut to black again, and it's like, hold on a minute, wait a minute. But then you see the Sony Interactive Entertainment, like, oh, okay. But yeah, so which by the way, I will be getting that controller because I'm a fool.
Yes, of course.
And I just want it, which I'm glad that it's. At least the controller, on its own, it's not like a whole system because I'm not going to buy a new limited edition system, but I will buy the controller because it looks badass. So it's like white and blue with two wolves on the touchpad, like howling at the moon or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's really cool looking. That one may prevent me from buying the what's it called the DualSense Edge or something like their Pro controller.
Yeah, I already forgot about
Which
that thing.
I was vaguely interested in that because it's got the modular like joysticks and stuff like that. But if I buy another DualSense, I'm not going to get that thing. So it looks really cool. But anyways, the trailer, like you said, it was another it was the first extensive story trailer for the game. I think the one that we had previously before this, that was a good trailer.
Yep.
We got our first look at Tyr, which is the Norse god of war. Which we heard a lot about in the first game, but it's like, oh, is he dead? Is he not? So spoiler, he's not. Just by the trailer alone, you know that.
Yep.
So we got more looks at him and what Atreus and Kratos are going to be doing. So just to kind of set it up, the first game ends and Fimbulwinter has begun. So I'm going to assume people who care about this have played this game, so I'm just going to say stuff about the first game. But spoiler warning for those who haven't. But Baldur, you snap his neck in the first game. That begins Fimbulwinter. Once Fimbulwinter ends, Ragnarok is supposed to begin. So I think that's basically where this game is picking up. It's been probably 2.5, 3 years since the first game. We got a slightly older Atreus who's probably getting acquainted with his godhood and things like that.
He's going through the old changes everyone goes through.
We all gotta embrace our
godhood changes.
Yeah. So. And one thing I want to, there's lots and lots to say about this trailer. I don't want to be here forever, but I would definitely recommend watching it if you haven't. One thing that really sets the tone, one of the coolest things I've ever heard Kratos even say is, "Death can have me when it earns me."
Yeah.
Oh, chills, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so cool. And death is such an interesting thing. Yeah, it's such an interesting thing when you relate it to Kratos because for anyone who's had a history of the series, which if nobody can tell by now, this is one of the most important video game series for me. I go way back with it. Kratos literally has died in these games,
Mm-hmm.
and he just doesn't give a shit. He just, pardon my French, but he just fights his way out of Hades or hell or whatever, and just comes back. So. When we had the conversation about will Kratos die, that kind of thing, I think if he dies, first of all, I don't know if I would want the series to keep going because I feel like it's innately him. Even if they make Atreus cool, but if he's gonna die, it's gonna be because he wants to. There's nothing that can hold him. I think that's his whole thing. So when he says that in the trailer, it's
Yeah,
shivers.
that was a good line
Oh,
for sure.
it was so good. I almost want to get that like tattooed on my forearm or something. Like
Death can
bad.
have me when it
Yeah,
earns
when
me.
it earns me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's badass.
Proceeds to die at the ripe old age of
Yeah.
27.
Right, exactly. So we see a lot in this game. We already knew that, we're going to be able to see all the different 9 realms in the game. Supposedly all of them. We were only able to see like 4 or 5 in the
Yeah, a
first game,
couple of
and
them
they're
were just
locked.
like challenge realms,
Right, and they were cool. That's fine.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to get like, much more, in depth with all the other realms, even the ones we've seen before, and we'll get different looks at the ones we've seen before. Like Midgar, for example, we spent a lot of time there, but like I said, Fimbulwinter's happening, and we've already seen some of the trailers, like the lake in like the main area is all frozen over, so that provides different traversal opportunities and things like that, and just opportunities for environments to change. So we saw a lot of combat sequences and kind of different moves that Kratos can do. He's got some cool special moves with his 3 main weapons, which if you're his fists and shield, that's like one weapon, and then he's got the Leviathan axe and then the Blades of Chaos. So we saw lots of new enemies, new enemy types, which makes sense.
The variety was really good. I liked that. They showed a lot of different, not only a lot of different areas, but within those areas, different enemies and what looks to be like different mini bosses and stuff that mixing it up, because there was a lot of those just like generic like what do you call them, whites, or like those like little,
they're Draugrs, but they're like the stereotypical undead enemy. It's
yeah,
like
there was a lot of those in the first game, so it looks like they're adding some more variety, which is welcome.
Right, and they have to, because like each of the realms has different species, so you're gonna have to like unpack that more.
Yep.
So yeah, it looks really cool. Like hard to even describe some of the stuff it shows. What I thought was really cool is that it showed like a Final Destination-esque like cosmic area where they're fighting these like Valkyrie looking enemies, but I don't think the Valkyries.
No items, 2 minute, or sorry, three stops.
Yeah. Master Hand comes up at the end. But yeah, it looks really cool. Which is, I think that's when it's showing that's when he says my favorite line now.
Yeah.
But so yeah, lots of new enemies, new special moves that he's doing. Which of course he is. I'm interested to see how well integrated Atreus is with the combat. If he's like, what else he can do, because before it was basically like he gets to shoot an arrow and you can summon like spirit animal things to like help you in the first game. So I'm sure he's gotten older and more proficient with his combat, because like the whole thing is that in between these games he's Kratos is training him. Like he's like, you have to continue your training. That's what he says at the end of the last game. So I'm sure that'll be cool. I wonder if it'll be like a straight up like, ooh, switch to Atreus, but I doubt it.
Yeah.
And like I said, it showed a lot more with Tyr. And we got from the first trailer, you're basically breaking him out of his prison that Odin put him in. And one thing I mentioned to you earlier, like just kind of a little bit of Norse mythology, he at one point Kratos is cutting Tyr out of like this rope that's like attached to him, his neck or something. I don't know what it's attached to. People are theorizing this is the rope. I think it's pronounced Gleipnir, which in mythology it binds the wolf Fenrir, and it like is made from these ridiculous things that like don't exist really, so it can't be broken. But of course he pulls out his Blades of Chaos and just like, okay,
of course
it's fine.
Well, because the Blades of Chaos don't exist in Norse mythology.
Exactly, it's like a weapon from not from that land. So you get a cool shot of like Kratos and Atreus standing next to what is presumably Fenrir, which is, I mean, anyone who knows anything about Norse mythology is familiar with Fenrir. And then a couple of other wolves. I think it only shows one smaller one, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be 2, plus the big Fenrir. And he's like firing an arrow into the sky. And basically the mythology with those smaller wolves is that they are chasing the sun and moon. So I think that's what's going on, is that like, I don't know how Atreus like commands him to do it. Basically, there's like an eclipse in the sky. And one of the wolves like goes and chases it, and it like turns to nighttime. It looks very cinematic. And I think we've already talked about like the possibilities with like, think of Ratchet and Clank PS5 where they quickly switched worlds like just instantly. So if you could do like day night like that, or like time travel or something like that, that would be really cool. And then they ended with a couple like quick snapshots of Kratos fighting Thor, which, I mean, come on, everyone's been waiting for this fight.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah,
I'm very excited for it.
Yeah, so I am. If you can't tell, one thing I didn't mention, it shows like an old man come to the door of Kratos and Atreus' house.
Jenkins.
Yeah, old man Jenkins himself. There's people theorizing you get like a really shadowy view of him, so you can't tell who he is. And even if like you did see him, you probably wouldn't be able to guess. I mean, people can guess, but people are saying it could be Odin disguised as like this old traveler, which apparently in mythology he was known to do. And he's also like narrating the trailer, presumably.
Yeah.
I'm going to assume it's the same guy, because once it shows him, you start hearing this old-sounding dude talk.
Yeah.
But yeah, lots of build-up here. I think I was probably already at the point before this trailer where I didn't necessarily need to see any more. I think definitely after this trailer, I'm good. I just want to play it now.
Yeah, you don't want to see too much. It's coming quick, month and a half.
Yeah, November 9th, which is a Wednesday, because of course it is.
Of course.
So, yeah.
The Norse Day of Video Games, Wednesday.
The Norse video game holiday, yes. The official Norse video game holiday.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, good stuff. I'm excited for that game. Next big thing on the list, other than Sonic, of course. But
Oh, yeah, of course. It's direct competitor coming out a day before, right? Yeah. So, on a Tuesday, because of course it's a Tuesday.
Why wouldn't it be?
It really felt like they just, directly challenged God of War, as if that's a smart
you got Wednesday,
decision.
we got Tuesday.
Yeah, it's like, okay, sure. Guess who's not going to buy your games? They know what they're buying the next day.
Yeah. No, Sonic's got this. What else are you talking about?
I mean, I hope that game's good. Yeah. I hope it's good. So.
See if we have it. Yeah. Oh, we still do have it up here.
Don't tell me you have Sonic.
I've got.
What do you have?
I've got the Sonic, the him running around the bases. All right. We'll end it there with the just everyone focus on this. This is the guy who's taking down Kratos here in a couple months.
On November 8th.
Run around third base. He just hit a freaking 600-foot shot.
A dinger.
To left center field. But good stuff. Well, thank you for joining me today talking about these games. It was a good time.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Various Daylife.